Welcome to today's topic, which is responsive images in the advanced HTML and CSS course. Images require special care on responsive websites. This lesson presents a few issues that arise when working with responsive images and the options you have when dealing with them. Learning outcomes: you will learn how to make your images behave properly when resizing them with CSS. You will learn how to serve up different images based on the screen size of the current device. The basics. The most basic problem you are going to face when working with responsive images is the aspect ratio of the relationship between width and height. If you shrink the width of an image on smaller screens and do not manipulate the height, the image will appear distorted. The solution to this issue is incredibly easy, and we have already mentioned it in an earlier lesson. Simply don't define both a width and a height. If an image is given a flexible width and the height is set to auto, then it should retain its aspect ratio correctly. Background size, background position, and object fit. So all these are CSS properties. What if you don't want your image to simply shrink in both height and width? Background size and object fit are two properties that can provide a little more flexibility, pun intended, with how aspect ratios are handled. Background position and background size are properties that work on elements with a background image and do not work on normal IMG tags. You will see some examples and specifics in the reading assignment later, but you can get quite a lot of control over the display and placement of background images by working with these properties. For example, background position center will make sure the image is always centered in its container, even if the container is too small to fit the whole image. Background size cover will resize the image so that it is always completely filling its container while cropping as little as possible. Here's a little demo you can play with. So we have some images, and here you can see, so it remains the same on different screen sizes. Object fit works similarly. So here we have a cover on the background size and position is center. Okay. Object fit works similarly, but is meant for IMG tags. With the object fit, this is a div. This is body and body having a background image. So this is a background image in the body tag. With the object fit property, you can specify a width and height for your images and then tell an image how it is supposed to fit itself to those dimensions. The default value for object fit is fill, which simply stretches the image to fit the dimensions. But much like background size, you can also tell it to cover or contain the image. Here's a demo of the object fit on an image. Open this one up on CodePen and resize the browser to see how the image reacts. So here you can see if it is big, say it's only showing the middle part of the mountains, and as it gets larger and larger, then you can see how the image is filling up the whole space. So if you have a height of 100% and a width of 300px, so maybe we can change this to VH. Let's see how that responds to. So it should always cover the entire height of the browser. So okay, so this is the width, so we have to have this as VW and this one as VH. So I think in that case it will remain the same in all screen sizes. Yeah, so we are basically able to fix, if we fix the width to certain things like how much is it was 300px. If we fix the width, yeah, so as you can see, it is just the width is fixed but the height is fixed to that. So if you do the opposite thing, that is the height will change but the width will be 100 VW. So let this be 100 VW and let this be 500px. In that case, one will be like, it will be a portrait kind of image, so like a mobile wallpaper, and then in 0.52x and 0.25x it will look like a widescreen. Nice. Even more control. It is also possible to literally use different images for different screen sizes. This gives you the most control over exactly how your images are displayed at various resolutions. For example, instead of just trusting the object fit to keep the subject of a photograph in a frame, you could present a cropped version of it on smaller screens. There are two ways of achieving this. But the most flexible is using the picture tag, which you will learn more about in the assignment. In the assignment, first check out the docs for background size. So this is on developer Mozilla.org. Background position and object fit. The demos on these pages should make their usage very clear. MDN's responsive images is an introduction to serving up responsive images in HTML. CSS Tricks Guide to Responsive Images Syntax in HTML is a great article that goes into more depth on how to actually implement responsive images. So you can look into CSS Tricks, this article, to get a more in-depth knowledge in this subject. Knowledge check. What is the main difference between object fit and background size? So object fit is on the image tag, background size is on the any other element. How can you define a width and a height of an IMG without distorting it? So either one of them should be auto. If you fix the width, then you should leave the height as auto. And if you leave the width as height as fixed, then keep the width as auto. Why would you want to provide different images at different screen resolutions? So this is also for the sake of faster loading speed. So on a smaller screen, you don't want to load a HD image. So just loading a smaller image would give a better experience to your mobile users. When would you want to use an IMG with a SRC set versus a picture? So this is also an example that you can check on CSS Tricks. That source set is basically a group of images for different resolution, whereas a picture is something which will take one source and then zoom on any particular part of the picture. Additional resources for studying. Responsive Images 101, this is cloud4.com, is a good series of articles if you need another source to learn about this. So this is responsive images in advanced HTML and CSS. We'll see you on the next one.